How to lock in profits is going to be key to making money from the markets. You want to have a methodology that you can repeat that's non-emotional. So we're going to jump into Hedera hash graph, which has a nice pump. It's been a nice trend to the upside for quite a few weeks now. But how can we use momentum to lock in profits? So if you like today's video, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and let's dive straight into HBAR. Looking at the HBAR website, it's open source public ledger for big companies. And when we zoom down, we go right, Google, Dell, IBM. So it's a big project, top 32 cryptocurrency. I think it's, what is it now? 2 billion, 3 billion market cap, $2.3 billion market cap. So it's got eyeballs. But is it susceptible to price movements as we see with other cryptocurrencies? The answer is yes. Yes. Look at Hedera hash graph. If we go back to 2020, the price was all the way down here. It had this huge pump, topped out in November, just like Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and has gone through selling. What does that tell us? Well, it tells us no matter how strong a project is, it's human psychology, crowd psychology, because there's a certain amount of utility to the tokens, but a lot of it is just still speculation. People buying and selling to make a profit, which is fine. What that allows us to do is read the markets from a technical standpoint and see what is likely to occur next. So what we're going to focus on today is the momentum position of Hedera Hashgraph, but it applies to all crypto and even all markets. Now, what I want to bring to your attention is the recent price action. In fact, I'm going to bring it up to this point here because we're going to really lean on the momentum position because that will give us a clue. There's a great saying in trading, the trend is your friend, ride it until its end, until it reaches its bend. But you want to have a methodology that tells you when we're likely to be at the beginning of a trend and at the end of a trend. And momentum can really help with that. So it's the blue and the red lines at the bottom. Now, I've created this dashboard at the bottom. I'm going to show you this later on, how you can access this dashboard, but it simplifies all of this stuff, right? Because sometimes I know it's quite confusing when you're seeing lots of blue and red lines, but I just want to talk you through a couple of things, but it can be really, really powerful. Now, what we can notice, especially if we focus on this one here, where the blue line crosses below the red, it seems to correlate really nicely with these price highs, right? Can we see that? With these highs. Even this crossover here that didn't reach the oversold zone, we can see that it correlates with these highs. So where is it's a weekly chart, by the way, where is the weekly momentum right now? Well, right now, it's been overbought for quite a few weeks. And this is called the slower look back period. It's also overbought. So what does that tell us? Well, it tells us we're at or near a weekly top, a top that may last for a number of weeks. Now, we don't know if we're there yet, and there's no way of knowing in advance, but it's to be on alert that you want to now be locking in profits, especially if you bought Hedera Hashgraph down here and it's been pumping, but we're now at or close to a weekly top, and we should anticipate some type of pullback, right? And that's where the momentum position can be really, really powerful. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into a daily chart. Right? So that was a weekly chart. I'm going to go into a daily chart. And I've just put up a pattern analysis, right? Markets tend to move in 5s and 3s. And when you can spot a 5, it can make it really clear for us where we're likely approaching the end of a correction or even a trend, should I say. So here with Hedera Hashgraph, we had this initial small move. We had this amazing move where the price went from like 3 cents to around 8 cents. So it's 300% increase in price in a space of January 6th, January 5th, give or take, around 2 weeks, 3 weeks. That's a big movement in price action. Then we had what looks like to be a typical wave 4 correction. And then we've got this final part of what could be a 5-wave move to the upside. So let me just make that clearer for you. So we've got the weekly momentum is overbought, indicating that we're at or close to a weekly top. On the daily chart, we've got a 5-wave move to the upside. Now you'll notice that I've put a question mark here because it hasn't been confirmed. So there's really 2 possibilities. Either we have reached the top and this point doesn't get exceeded and we just get the continuation to the downside in terms of a correction, or we make a few more higher highs. But we want to know that the upside is limited. So what you want to have is a logical way of taking profits from the market. taking profits from the market. Now, by the way, if you want to get access to this trend identifier dashboard, it comes with the buy and sell signals. And I'll show you, and I'm going to be updating the training. There's some extra key things I want to add in. You can now actually try it for £1 for 30 days. Really powerful. I'll show you how to use it, where it simplifies the momentum position of any market that you're looking at, and then how to add alerts. There's some new training that I'm going to be adding to this as well. And I've also got a free membership area to get a Bitcoin report, because just to add Bitcoin, we are also anticipating something similar to Hedera Hashgraph. The weekly momentum on Bitcoin is bearish. The daily has made a bear reversal. We've had this 5-wave move to the upside, and we are anticipating a move to the downside towards $20,000 with Bitcoin as we get a further move to the downside. And if we get that, I'll be updating the next Bitcoin report. It's a video report. I do at least one a week, and it's the latest analysis in detail on Bitcoin and what we should anticipate with high probability. So that's also in the link below. So Hedera Hashgraph, let's just talk about a simple, logical way of locking in profits, whether you're just buying the underlying token or you're trading futures or CFDs to long this market and short this market. So right now, when a market is trending to the upside, it makes higher highs and higher lows where there's no overlap. And what that means is we got this low over here, we got this low over here, we got this low over here, and we got this low over here. You can see that the price doesn't go below these. So it's trending to the upside. Now, these are nice points where you can put a stop loss or an alert that says, look, if the price does go below this point, that'll be a strong indication that the market has topped out. That is, we've reached the end of a trend and that we're reversing. So right now, where is the last low? Especially if we do make another high, but I wouldn't have my stop loss any lower than this point. So in other words, I'm saying to the market, if this low gets exceeded to the downside, I want to be out of the market and lock in my profits. Just keeping it really, really simple. One other thing that you can also do is on the next daily bearish reversal is basically when in the dashboard, it says overbought or bear downtrend where the upside is limited, we would see this part in this zone over here. When this happens, you want to be on high alert, especially when it's coinciding with pattern and price and the higher momentum that we were talking about. Then you can even get a tighter stop loss. And one way of doing a tighter stop loss is on a 1-bar low. So let's just say we got another bar over here and it was moving up. We can move our stop loss to the previous day 1-bar low. Let's say we got another bar and it hasn't exceeded this. It couldn't, maybe not. But move it to this low over here, because sometimes the markets do overextend and we don't know when that's going to happen. So let the market take you out. And then if it triggers to the downside and then it exits you, and then you're done. So there you have it. So like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Let me know what you think in your taking profits methodology, because that's one of the hardest things to do in trading, especially if you're new, is taking profits consistently. It's a hard skill, and I found that people find it incredibly difficult because they're thinking, what if it goes higher? And it's fear of missing out. But if you've got a logical, mechanical, objective way of doing it, then all of a sudden you're going to win long term. Let's finish on a quote. Quote of the day is from chapter 8 of my book. It is Henry Ford, and he says, "It has been my observation that most people get ahead during the time that others waste."